Charlie was also very embarrassed and said seriously, "I'm sorry, Uncle and Aunt. This matter is a sorry to your daughter, sorry to you and my parents' agreement back then." Philip sighed, patted Charlie on the shoulder, and said earnestly, "Charlie, although I don't know what you have gone through these years, when Uncle can guess that you must have had a hard time these years. You were 8 years old. I have been wandering outside since 1999. Many things are definitely involuntary. Let's not talk about this matter. You can tell your uncle in detail how you came here these years." "Yes." Lennon also nodded and said, "The marriage contract can be discussed in the long term. Let's eat first and talk while eating." Philip pulled Charlie and sat down on the seat beside him. As soon as he took his seat, he immediately greeted Charlie enthusiastically. "Charlie, let's eat first. You see if the food at home is suitable for your appetite. If it doesn't suit your appetite, I will let them cook it again." Charlie said hurriedly, "Uncle, you don't have to be so polite." Philip nodded and asked about Charlie's life experience over the years. Charlie didn't hide much from Philip's family. Except for the secrets like 9 profound heavenly scriptures that no one could be told, he basically told them about other things, including his life before the age of 18, and his social experience after the age of 18, as well as his acquaintance with Mr. Wilson, his marriage to Claire, and his life after marriage. The more Philip and Lennon listened, the more distressed they were. In their eyes, Charlie is after all the descendants of the Wade family, a direct descendant of the Wade family, and his father back then was the brightest new star of the Wade family. It stands to reason that Charlie should have lived the life of a man of fine clothes and food since he was a child, but they did not expect that he had experienced so much outside since he was a child, and ordinary people experienced constant hardships. After listening, Philip kept sighing and sighing, and then he asked Charlie, "Charlie, what are you going to do now? Are you planning to go back to Wade's house to recognize your grandfather and the others?" Charlie shook his head. "Uncle, I have no plans yet, and I have always suspected that the death of my parents is inseparable from the Wade family. Before I can find out, the Wade family is murdering parent suspects, so I'm not going to go back and recognize them." Philip said earnestly, "Charlie, you can listen to Uncle's advice and don't go back and recognize the Wade family, but don't turn against them either." Charlie said seriously, "Will you turn your heads into enemies? It's not that I have the final say, but the facts have the final say. If they really murdered my parents, how can I not avenge my parents?" Philip sighed and slowly said, "What happened back then? To be honest, I haven't found a definite clue yet. Whether your parents were harmed by people in the industry, there is no evidence yet." Charlie said, "At least, my parents were forced to leave Eastcliff because of the exclusion of the Wade family. If it were not for them, my parents would not have died in Orus Hill." Philip nodded slightly. The causality of the matter is indeed the case. The Wade family should indeed be responsible for the death of your parents. After speaking, Philip said with comfort, "Charlie, you said that the Wade family instructed Stephen to give you a group with a market value of 100 billion, and gave you tens of billions of cash. In my opinion, this should be the Wade family's compensation to you. Or compensation to your parents. Although these assets and cash are not too much to the Wade family, they are considered sincere. If you don't want to return to Wade's family, these assets will be enough for you to live your life. You have been suffering for so many years, so you should enjoy life and stop struggling with the past."